Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your AEW All Out 2019 preview and predictions. We have got a grand total of 10 matches, including 2 buy-in matches that are very exciting, that we are stoked to talk about, or at least I'm stoked to talk about. I'll let John speak for himself. I don't want to talk for him. But still, I'm just going to run over this card before I kick it over to you, my friend. We are going to be starting things out on the pre-show. We've got Private Party, which you already know is Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn. They've been really impressive in their tag matches, and I've really started to enjoy them once we've finally gotten to get to know them. But we've also got, and they're facing Los Gueros del Cielo, which for those of you that don't know, Jack Evans and Angelico. That match is going to be incredible. That might even be the match of this entire show. And then we've also got a 21-woman casino battle royale. So it's going to be the women doing the same thing that the men did on the buy-in for Double or Nothing. We already have a few names announced for that. We'll go over that when we get to it, which is actually going to be the first match that we talk about. But then on the main show, I genuinely struggled to figure out how to order these matches because they all look so good. And the ones that don't look as good are a lot more meaningful, which makes them look better. So we're starting things off. We have got a boy, a smaller boy, and their dinosaur, Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy, and Marko Stunt, taking on all 3 members of SCU, SoCal Uncensored. Then in our second main show match, and it blows my mind that this is the second match because this is such a good match, and it's going to probably be one of the matches of the night. Darby Allin versus Joey Janela versus Jimmy Havoc in what is being dubbed the Cracker Barrel Clash, which is kind of silly, but it's a triple threat with 3 hardcore guys, so you know it's going to be fucking nuts. Then we've got Best Friends versus the Dark Order, where the winning team gets a bye in the AEW Tag Title Tournament. It's a first-round bye for grabs. Then we've got Riho versus Hikaru Shida, which is another match that I think is going to be amazing, where the winner of that will go on to face the winner of the 21-woman Casino Battle Royale for the first ever AEW Women's Championship. Then we've got Pac versus Kenny Omega as the 4th most important match on this show, because we've got Cody versus Shawn Spears, which I think is probably basically going to be treated like a #1 contenders match. And Shawn Spears has Tully Blanchard in his corner. And I don't know if we know for sure who Cody has in his corner, or if it's Taz, or if that was just a joke that I saw the other day, or I just don't know. But then our double main event, we've got the Lucha Bros versus the Young Bucks again, but it's a ladder match for the AAA tag, or the AAA tag titles. And our main event to crown the first ever AEW World Champion, Hangman Adam Page taking on Y2J Chris Jericho. This show looks absolutely loaded. I'm looking forward to this. John, I'm going to pass it over to you now for you to kind of inform everybody on how you're feeling about this show.
It's, man, it's just weird for me because, look, I think it'll be a great wrestling show. Like, the in-ring product, dude, looks absolutely solid. I just worry about I think what I'm waiting for, dude, is to be disabused of my fears by this promotion. Because, again, from the in-ring standpoint, you're absolutely right. I am not going to diss any of these talents. I'm a fan of a lot of these talents. My concern is, should I get emotionally invested in the people that I'm rooting for if they're just going to job out to Cody, the Bucks, and company? And like that's my concern. Because again, like that, I think was the problem with early TNA. Jarrett was a mark for himself. He had the power. He had the power of the pencil, right? And he put the NWA World Title on himself a lot. And even though none of the core group, Kenny, Cody, and the Bucks, none of them are in the inaugural World Title match, they're still tight with Page. Page is one of their guys. And Jericho, he's like this really established legend. So even then, it's like, what are you going to do? So I want to know that if I were to really get behind a new talent, I'm really behind Darby Allin. I would hope that his chances of one day being a world champion or doing really well in the company, which I think he could do, are conceivable, are realistic, because the people in charge aren't marks for themselves. And I don't think I've been fully disabused of that notion. And I think what made it worse, honestly, because what was the last show we covered? It was the charity show they did. I just forget what the name.
Fight for the Fallen.
Fight for the Fallen, thank you. Where the fucking Bucks and the Rhodes brothers had that tag main event. That post-match promo where it was like, oh, we heard these stories of the Rhodes brothers, and you're one of the best teams we've ever been in the ring with. It's like, are they a good team? Yeah, but get the fuck out of here. Like, it just came off very masturbatory, very circle jerk. Look at how great all of us are. We're all so amazing. And I just don't want that to affect the product on an institutional level, like on a structural level. So I think I'll be fair, and I'll look at the card for what it is, because my fears haven't been actualized yet. And when you look at it for what it is in a vacuum, I mean, this is a card for me, honestly, where my hype is like an 8.5 out of 10. Because the in-ring is going to deliver. I have no doubt in my mind about that. Why I say 8.5, there are some I'm really not looking forward to Cody versus Shawn Spears, especially with this Tully Blanchard stuff. And then Cody, you said he's going to have Taz in his corner.
I don't know for sure.
That just seems overproduced. Pog versus Omega, I actually have my reservations about as well, if I'm honest, which we'll get to that later. But yeah, I mean, other than that, and those matches could deliver as well. I'm not denying that possibility. But yeah, other than that, I'm really psyched for this. Especially, can I give credit to the tag division and the women's division?
Yes.
Those two divisions are really making this card for me, dude. Because I think those tag matches and the women's matches, including the Battle Royal, and the pre-show tag match as well, Private Party versus Los Gueros del Cielo.
Gueros,
del Cielo. It's going to be really good. So yeah, I'd give it an 8. I'd give it an 8 out of 10, which I think is more than fair given how I'm feeling about the product. So that's how I'm feeling. How about you, brother? What number would you put to this?
No, I would say that's fair. We did get a $5 super chat from Wes. That's current Northeast Wrestling heavyweight champion Darby Allin to you. So I guess Darby Allin is the world champion in NEW. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is pretty awesome, man.
That gets me a little bit excited for whenever Wes decides to request another NEW show, if we get to see Darby Allin either as champion or win the title.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I see big things for Darby Allin. I'm a big fan, huge fan, really. And yeah, I just want to see good things from him. And I want to know that anybody I get emotionally invested in has a chance, and they're not just going to be fodder for Cody or Brandy or, again, just anybody, without like logical narrative reason. I can understand a guy like Kenny Omega beating a lot of the people on the roster, but it's got to have narrative coherence to it, not just like a masturbatory thing like, oh, I'm the fucking best. So, we'll see. But yeah, let's dive into this card, man. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's. So first up, I had this backwards in the description, but I want to really talk about Private Party versus Los Gueros del Cielo first, because I kind of view the main event of the pre-show, of the buy-in, as being the Casino Battle Royale, because that's got championship implications, whereas Private Party versus Los Gueros del Cielo, while it's probably going to be one of the best matches on the entire show, it doesn't really have stakes that we're aware of.
Right.
So let's talk about, frankly, this is probably like a top 2 or 3 match as far as just my hype level. Like, if I were to rank the matches in order, number 1 being the match that I am most looking forward to number 10 being Cody versus Shawn Spears, I would say this is like top 2, probably, maybe top 3 at worst.
Yeah, this tag match is going to be really good. I'll say this too. Private Party, I became instant fans of these guys, from their first tag match that we saw with them with AEW. And apparently they were offered a contract the moment they walked through the curtain, which makes sense. They're a very fun tag team. So I could actually really see myself getting emotionally invested in these guys becoming future AEW tag team champions. Angelico and Jack Evans, that's a dream team, and they've been together a while. You know what they're capable of. They're insane athletes. It's just going to be an insane matchup. If you give this the proper time, you'll see some crazy shit. It'll get the crowd hot. You'll work the crowd into a frenzy, which honestly, you know what, though? No, I get why the Women's Casino Battle Royale is the main event of the pre-show.
Well, no, it might not be. I'm just saying in my mind it should be.
Right. If it isn't, though, I could see why this would also main event, because when you've got the talents involved in a tag match like this, again, you want to get the crowd hot entering the main show. Yeah. I definitely think it'll achieve that. As far as who I'm going to pick to win, I'm going to go Private Party, man. I think they're going to get the W.
Yeah,
here.
I think you're right. Los Gueros del Cielo are 0-2 as a team in AEW, so They definitely seem to be that team that was brought in to kind of make everyone else look good, and holy hell are they good at that. Oh my God, they're amazing at it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm locking in Private Party for my prediction, and I'm seeing that you agree.
Yeah, I do agree. Yeah, I'm picking Private Party as well. Let's move on though to the big 21 woman casino battle royale. Here is who we know is in it, and I'm going to count alongside just to make sure that we're making sure that we know how many have been announced and how many are left. Nyla Rose, she's already been in a few matches. We know that. Britt Baker kind of seems to be the woman that they're kind of pushing early on as like a potential face of the women's division. Allie has been in a few matches already. Brandy Rhodes, don't get me started. Teal Piper, the daughter of Roddy Piper. Ivelisse is getting brought in for this match. Jazz is being brought back for this match. Big Swole, formerly known as Ariel Monroe, is being brought in for this match. Sadie Gibbs is debuting for this match. Where's DBK? I know he loves her. Awesome Kong has officially been announced for this match. And Shazza McKenzie is also going to be in this match. She is Australian, for those of you that are unaware. She was in NXT a couple times. But yeah, that's 11 women. So we've got 10 unknowns. And I'm very curious to know who's going to fill out the rest of those spots. I'm guessing B. Priestley is pretty much a lock. So we might as well just call her number 12, right?
Yeah, I would say so. She
is one of two women who are in the 5-star Grand Prix for Stardom that are not scheduled to be on the September 1st show. So, and yes, Wes, I did say Jazz, the one that you're thinking of, yes. But B is one of the two women scheduled for that's in the 5-star Grand Prix, but isn't scheduled for the September 1st 5-star show for Stardom. And the other one is actually Natsu Sumire, which I know you and I both love her and would love to see her in this. And she is technically a free agent too. She has not signed a contract with Stardom. So technically, if AEW wanted and she was willing, they could sign her to a contract, let her keep working in Stardom, and have her be like a full-time AEW roster member. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Regardless, do you have any predictions for who else is going to fill out this casino battle royale, John?
I could see maybe a few more Stardom talents. It's interesting, the relationships that Stardom is rumored to be working. I mean AEW.
Well, I doubt it would be a few more, because it would either have to be someone not in the 5-star at all, or B or Natsu, because those are the only two women in the 5-star that would be available for this.
You know what I'm going to say, dude? Just to throw another name out there. I don't know what Taylor Hendricks is doing. Maybe she'll get in on this, maybe.
She did post something on social media about being elite or whatever, but she also is like, she has a history of trying to stir up hype and get herself signed to a company and it never really amounting to anything.
Right. Yeah, she definitely has a history of doing this. I agree. But, you never know. I think Taylor's always a safe bet, given that she's kind of, I don't know what exactly she's doing right now, but I always assume she's down for anything. So, yeah, I'll just put her name out there. I can't really think of anybody else, though, to be truthful.
Yeah. Well, we know that, I have one that might show up that you might like.
Okay.
Taya Valkyrie.
Ooh. Yeah, I could see that.
She's no longer signed with Impact, is she? I'm pretty sure her contract expired a little while ago, didn't it?
Yeah, and doesn't she have something going on right now? Somebody's going to have to fill in the gaps for me here where I feel like she has something going on where she's making a major announcement on Impact, I think tonight, because they're a Friday show now.
Who's this?
And, Taya Valkyrie, because I think she's still Knockouts champion.
Oh.
So, I don't know if she's going to try and make a big announcement maybe ahead of
All Out. I thought her contract expired.
No, I think she's still Knockouts champion. They're talking about her being like close to being the longest reigning Knockouts champion if she hasn't crossed that threshold already.
Wow. Okay. You still there, man?
Yeah, I'm still here. Now I'm just thinking, like, yeah, I don't know. She seems to be doing a big storyline right now. Maybe it's going to be in advance of All Out, and maybe she's going to be a part of it. I don't know.
Well, because didn't someone say that she was in the latest BTE?
Somebody said that, and then I think I asked you, yeah, because somebody said that she was in the latest BTE, and I said, like, Is that where you got the idea from, that her and Johnny Law? And you said, yes, it was. But I don't know who told you that originally.
Oh, I thought you watched that episode to see if you saw Johnny.
No. I got that from you, dude. You disseminated the rumor to me. And then
okay, so it's probably nothing then.
Yeah. God,
so maybe it was just Johnny that was in the BTE, and it wasn't both of them, because I definitely saw somewhere that Johnny was in the latest BTE.
McLean, I know this is very odd. What about Tessa Blanchard? Yeah, I mean, Tessa Blanchard, her name's been very high profile right now.
She's signed to Impact too, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, that's her and Tenille are both signed for sure to Impact. Like, and Jordan Grace. I mean, I don't know.
That's why I even struggle with any more names, dude, because I feel like all the names that I would come up with that I would love for this are already taken.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate, actually.
But to get to
how about? I mean, again, though, like, there are so many names that I want to list, but I don't know if they're signed with somewhere that they wouldn't be allowed to work for AEW. Like, Gail Kim would be amazing in this, but is she under an Impact contract?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I just don't know about their contract situation.
I mean, I know Gail's kind of a flake in some ways, but, like, she apparently recently had a retirement match a while back against Tessa Blanchard in TNA. So, if anything, Gail's retired.
Well, I mean, retired in TNA, right? But, like,
I guess so.
You know what? I think we should just move on.
Yeah.
Talk about who you think's actually going to win this thing.
Yeah,
who do you think's actually going to win?
Well, that's only going to take seconds, because we talked about this during Rocket League, and I agree with you. I think Sadie Gibbs is going to win this, because you're right. She's gotten so hyped from the vignettes. She's been heavily promoted in a way for the women's division. I think she's going to win this, so I'm putting my money down on Sadie Gibbs.
Wow. I mean, I know that I kind of teased it, but I don't think I'm going to fully commit to that. God, I mean, I think I'm just going to go with Britt Baker, honestly. Like, she seems to be the one that is kind of getting the most, the company behind her the most out of all the women that have been announced. So I'm just going to go with her to win this and be one half of the first ever AEW Women's Championship match.
All right, fair enough.
All right, so next up, we've got our first main show match, which is Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy, and Marko Stunt versus all three members of SoCal Uncensored. SCU?
You know, last time I went with SCU because I thought that AEW had them as like a high priority kind of booking thing. They ended up losing. So that's kind of hampered kind of my mindset going into this show. So I'm just going to go with Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy, and Marko Stunt to win this. I think that'll be an exciting trio. You want to pop the crowd in the opener. SCU will make them look good enough, and so, I'm going to go with the babyface team to win this.
I just can't emphasize enough. I don't know the actual match order here, man. This is my own, this is my match order.
Right. I could see this, though, being the opener and just going on that fact. Yeah, I'm just going to go with the fun team here. Even if it wasn't the opener, I'd still go with the fun team here.
I mean, I agree with you. I also have, two boys and their dinosaur winning this match. But yeah, I'm expecting this to open, but it's not confirmed by any means. So we've got Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy, Marko Stunt. We both have them winning. So let's move on. Darby, Allin, Joey, Janela, Jimmy Havoc, three-way Cracker Barrel Clash.
Yeah, this should be fun. I like 2 out of the 3 people in this match. I do not care for Joey Janela at all. I think he's actually one of the most bland hardcore wrestlers I've ever seen, honestly.
I was talking to someone in the Discord the other day, and I was like, I just don't get the appeal to Joey Janela. And they were like, oh, you know what? It wasn't even someone in Discord. It was actually Alex, the Lex Man on Facebook. And I was like, man, I don't get the appeal to Joey Janela. And he was like, oh, he's Mick Foley without the charisma and promo skills. And I was like, wait, so nothing that makes Mick Foley great except for the fact that he takes stupid bumps? Like, that's Mick Foley without the redeeming qualities. Like, that's not good. That's not somebody that I have any reason to give a shit about. So, yeah, I'm definitely with you on the Joey Janela front.
Yeah, he's worthless. So I think I'm going to go with Darby Allin for the win here. Because Jimmy Havoc I like, but this is in progress, and I don't see Jimmy Havoc as like that main event heel yet. I would like to see him have a nice heel run in AEW for the record. I think if he's going to have a match with Moxley, which he has been salivating for, and AEW would be foolish to pass up on, I would like Havoc to take on a more demented persona, as he did in progress. But you know what? I'm going to give it to Darby. And also, it's not just the favoritism. Let's not forget that in his debut match, he went to a fucking draw with Cody Rhodes. And I would have preferred if he beat Cody outright. But again, because of my fears about AEW being kind of a masturbatory promotion, the idea that they let Darby go to a draw with Cody shows me that they do consider him somewhat of a priority.
Yeah.
So I'm going with Darby for the win. I think he's going to start racking up a little win streak, and maybe he'll even be challenging for the world title in a couple months. So.
Yeah, I agree, man. I also am picking Darby Allin for this, man.
Yeah.
I think I think Jimmy Havoc, if they wanted to decide to get behind him, I wouldn't complain about him winning at all. The only guy that I wouldn't be happy about winning this is Janela.
Yeah, agreed. 100%.
I feel like he's really only in this match to do stupid shit and take bumps in places that he fucking shouldn't.
Yeah, I don't care for Janela at all. I don't think he adds anything to the match. I'd be far more intrigued by this if Darby Allin and Jimmy Havoc had their own program. And this is like an installation in said program.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
All right, so up next, let's talk about Best Friends versus the Dark Order. God, I almost wish they would change the stipulation on this and have it be, a little bit less of like an obvious heel advantage on the line here, because I want to believe that both these teams could win, but given what's on the line, I have to pick Dark Order because it's so obvious that they're going to get a first round bye.
Oh yeah, Dark Order is such an easy pick here. I mean, the way that they've made their presence felt in AEW, it's cool. They're a menacing tag team. I dig it. I'm here for it. I do like Best Friends, but Dark Order is definitely the priority here. So they're going to get the first round bye, and I just wonder what their polar opposite on the babyface side, the babyface team that's going to have to struggle throughout the tournament, is going to be. I guess when we have the brackets really smoothed out, we'll know. But yeah, Dark Order is a very easy pick here. So
yeah, definitely. All right, so up next, damn, we're moving through this fast. Riho versus Hikaru Shida. Last time we saw Hikaru Shida was in that big 6-woman tag match at Double or Nothing. She actually got the winning pinfall on, I want to say, Aja Kong, actually. I think she actually pinned Aja Kong. It might have been Emi Sakura, but regardless, she got the winning pinfall for her team. And it was a team that also included Riho. So Riho started not actually winning, but being on a winning team. And then she ended up being the actual winner in that triple threat, also involving Yuka Sakazaki and Nyla Rose. And most recently, she lost. She wasn't pinned, but she did lose to the team of Shoko Nakajima and B. Priestley. So Riho is 2-1 with really only 1-0 if we only count stuff that she had direct control over, because she didn't get pinned and she didn't get the winning pinfall in the tag matches that she was in. So as a singles performer, she's 1-0. Hikaru Shida 1-0 because she actually did get the winning pinfall for her team on Double or Nothing. So it makes sense that these two would be facing each other, and the winner of this faces the winner then of the Casino Battle Royale to determine the first ever AEW Women's Champion. Who you got?
I think there's a lot of hype behind Hikaru Shida. I'm going to go with her, personally.
Yeah, man. It's kind of crazy because, like, outside of our circle, I feel like Riho might be the better well-known name, but Shida is just such a badass. Like, the more you see of her, the more you realize, like, oh, well, she's such an obvious pick to be the face of AEW's women's division, you know?
Yeah, and I'm hoping AEW feels a similar way.
Yeah.
I know Jackie, our authority on women's wrestling here, has really, I think, been behind her and really likes her as well. So Hikaru Shida, this is a pick I make with a pretty good amount of confidence, truthfully. Yeah. So yeah, I'm going with Shida for this. And I hope she's the first ever AEW Women's Champion. I really do. So,
yeah, Riho. Excuse me. The cool thing, though, I'm hoping that Riho will show up with the Stardom High Speed title in tow. That would be pretty cool to see that on an AEW pay-per-view.
Absolutely.
So that would be really cool. For those of you that don't follow Stardom, Riho actually recently debuted for the promotion, and in doing so, she won one of their championships, the High Speed title, in her debut match. It was actually a really cool moment to see. So let's. I mean, I guess we can move on. That was a pretty quick pick. I feel like a lot of other people are wondering like why we're going so fast, but I think we've just been thinking about this for so long that we already kind of have our minds made up and we already kind of know who we're picking. So next up, we've got Pac versus Kenny Omega.
And this is where I want to pump the brakes and just say, like, what exactly my reservation about this match is. Because I know a lot of people were upset that Mox, got replaced. I was, too. Because I feel like Mox has been killing it in New Japan. AEW, it's been kind of a mixed bag. Didn't care for the Janela match at all, but I actually was genuinely hyped for this.
Well, yeah, I mean, we didn't care for the Janela match, but we just don't care for Janela, like, in general, though. So I don't blame him for that. I don't blame him or his performance for that at all.
No, not at all. Not at all. Pac has got to show up for this, guys. Like, I've seen him work heel sufficiently enough that if he is going to work heel here, which I have every intention to believe that he will, even though AEW's on, and now I should say this, just to be fully fair, AEW, they're a company apparently that their booking philosophy and their presentation philosophy is we don't believe in heels and faces, which I'm still trying to reconcile, but whatever. So I don't know if that's going to affect how Pac works this match. But I want to see the freaking babyface Neville that I got to see in WWE. Hell, I feel like even when he worked heel in WWE, he was having more exciting matches than he did in Dragon Gate.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell happened, man. But, like, he just decided, I'm not working for the big company anymore. Maybe the paycheck shrunk so much. He's like, I can just take it down a few notches. I don't know. I'm not as enthused about Pac as I wanted to be when I heard he got out of his WWE contract. I was happy for the dude. I know for a fact, I said to you and I said to other people, this is great because now the best years of his career he can give to a promotion that would use him right. And look, if he's happy with what he's doing, great for the man. Absolutely happy for the man. As a performer, though, and watching a performance and consuming a performance and evaluating it, I've been bored. Pac bores me, so I'm not really looking forward to this as much as everybody else is. I hope they get what they want out of this match. I don't think that I will. I want it to be great. God knows I want it to be great. I just have my reservations. But as far as who's going to win, I'll admit that I struggle with that. Because on the one hand, Kenny did lose. He's only had, what is it actually, 2 singles matches? Like, he had Jericho and he had Shima. But I don't think he's had any matches outside of that, right?
Correct. And he's won
1-1
singles matches, and he's also 1-0 in tag matches because he got the winning pinfall for the Elite in their tag match against the Lucha Bros and Laredo Kid.
Yeah, I don't know what the story that they want to tell with Kenny, because on one hand you can have him beat Pac, and then depending on how the main event goes, you can have him come out and confront the winner of the main event. Or you could have Pac win and make Kenny freaking Omega, which I think would be a ballsy move. I'm not saying that to be critical. I think it would be a ballsy move to make Kenny Omega, the guy that ended Okada's world title reign, a struggling character in AEW. Different promotion, different rules, I guess. And I don't know if they want to do that. If they want to make Kenny that sympathetic, I got to struggle. I came here because I wanted to help my friends change pro wrestling, and I feel like I'm lagging behind everybody else. That could be an interesting story to tell. I just don't know if AEW is interested. So I'm left kind of with a coin flip. And you know what? I think I'm going to go with Pac for the win. I think Pac's going to beat Kenny Omega, and they're going to want to make Kenny a bit more sympathetic. So, and plus it's Pac's AEW debut, and they're probably going to want to debut him strong. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Pac for the win here.
Wow, very interesting, man. Very interesting. I feel like I'm kind of under the impression that the reason that they didn't want to bring Pac in is because they didn't want to have him lose while he was the Dragon Gate champion. And because of that, I'm going to go with him losing now that he's dropped the Dragon Gate title. So that just kind of informs my decision, and I have Kenny winning here.
It makes perfect sense to me, man. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, all right. Let's get to our next match, Cody versus Shawn Spears. I think you and I both have our reservations about this.
Yeah. Dude, I'm going to tell you what my biggest reservation is from a booking side. I think you need to give Shawn Spears the win here. Like, he attacked Cody. He's done all this stuff. WWE squandered the perfect 10 gimmick. I feel like he could have been like one of the top stars in NXT, and I think he was actually reaching that status before he left and got called up. This is like his second chance. I believe he is an older talent. How old is he?
Yeah, he's in his late 30s.
You know, but I feel like so is Cody, though,
38.
right?
I think Cody's like 34.
Is he?
Cody Rhodes is 34, yeah. Cody's 34, Spears is 38.
Okay. Well, you know what, though? I mean, Shawn Spears being the older talent, I don't know where they see him. You know, Cody made the joke, which started this whole feud, that he's a good hand. Maybe that's how they genuinely see him. Or maybe they think he can be like another top heel alongside Jericho or wherever they have for that scene. And given that he is, like, later in age, they may want to get the mileage out now. Or they may not. But I do think they need to give him the win here, though, if you really want him to reestablish himself as an AEW guy and not just continuing what he did in the E, which is losing and being wasted away.
Yeah.
You know, that's just my thoughts on it. Now, maybe it's clouded by my dislike for Cody, which is so funny because I used to love him in WWE. But, man, when a fish gets out of the pond and gets exposed when it starts having the ocean, it's really something. But, yeah, I don't know. I feel like Shawn Spears should win, and I hope he wins. But I think I'm going to go with Cody for my actual prediction to win because it'll be the vindication. And Brandy did the promo, and there's got to be revenge for the chair shot. And so I'm going to go with Cody for the win. But I hope I'm wrong about this.
Yeah, I really want to cut a promo on Brandy Rhodes and Dave Meltzer right now, but I'm going to hold back a little bit. Next.
Yeah.
And we're both, by the way, we're both picking Cody to win, which is just silly in my opinion because he's the fucking, again, it's like Jeff Jarrett all over again, right?
Yeah, and that's why I want to be wrong, dude. Like,
yeah. So let's expect the worst and hope for the best, I guess. Semi-main event: Lucha Bros versus the Young Bucks. Ladder match for the AAA tag titles.
I'm going to go with Lucha Bros for this. I think they're going to retain the titles and definitively end the feud with the Young Bucks. Mark's showing them and telling you don't hold back. I think Lucha Bros are going to beat Young Bucks. They're going to solidify their status as like the dominant AAA tag team champions. And it should be an insane matchup. And yeah, hopefully Lucha Brothers go over. So that's my pick there. What about you, man?
I'm actually going with the Young Bucks here. So far, the home field advantage has determined the winner of these matches. The Young Bucks win in AEW. The Lucha Bros win in AAA. So I'm gonna continue picking along that trend and predict that it will continue and that the Young Bucks are gonna win again here in AEW.
God, dude, you know what I just realized?
What?
If your match order is correct, because you've been stressing that this is not the definitive match order, if your match order is correct, then we can see all the top people in this fucking company, pretty much my worst fear realized, win back to back to back to back.
Yep.
That would be, oh my God, I don't even know. All right.
Nightmarish, would you say?
Possibly. Because there's only one guy in them, but God, I'm not even going to get into my relationship with each of these performers. Fuck it. Let's get to the main event.
Let's get to the main event. Hangman Page versus Chris Jericho for the inaugural AEW Championship.
God, I'm so conflicted about this, dude. You don't even know. Because on one hand...
You're right, I don't know. Why don't you inform us?
Well, that's why we're here, right? Jericho's got the name brand, and he's got the value in this and that.
But he's also a WWE guy.
But he's also a WWE guy. He's old. He's out of shape. It's gross. And, like, I don't think, like, here's the thing. A name is fine, but a name is always attached to an image, right? Do you really want that being the image of what, like, the premier athletes you're offering? Like, seriously, like, you look at a Jericho who gets blown up in this and that, and WWE gets to advertise, even though he doesn't know how to use Twitter for fucking shit, a guy that's cut and lean like Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Even Kofi Kingston looks fucking better than Jericho does, and I know we've...
And his chest is concave!
Exactly, like, yeah, like, let's just all be fucking real here. I'm not trying to body shame or whatever, but we can't deny that pro wrestling is an image-driven industry, like, for everybody, the men and the women. And I just don't know if Jericho fits that image, unless AEW really wants to be radical and being like, yeah, you know, this is the image we want, which, hey, mazel tov, I hope it works for you. And then Adam Page, who I would argue has that image and everything, he trades off having that by not having the name value. Now, I also do think that that's intriguing, right? When you don't come in with a name value and you're really trusting a fresh-ish face, because, you know, Paige has been around a little bit in ROH.
Dude, can I say something real quick while you're...
Absolutely.
This should have been Kenny Omega versus MJF. It's unbelievable how much better that would have been than this.
Dude, remember when we thought it was going to be Kenny Omega versus MJF?
And we were excited about it?
Because, dude, here's my thing. If this was MJF, and here's the thing, I know...
Dude, MJF isn't even booked for this show!
Which is a fucking crime. Which, actually, thank you for reminding me. You know what? MJF not being on the show docked it a whole full point. My hype is now 7 out of 10. Thank you for reminding me of that, sir, because how the fuck do you not have one of your best mic workers in your company not on the fucking card to even cut a promo? Now, they'll probably shoehorn him in, but that's not an excuse. You advertise that shit ahead of time. You build hype. And because you didn't build hype, mine just went down. 7 out of 10. Suck on that, railroad spike.
I love it. Yes.
But no, dude, I'm glad you interjected with that because honestly, and here's the thing, AEW, their shit booking is working because I actually momentarily forgot that MJF works for this fucking company. Because you're absolutely right. He should be in this main event match. And as I was getting ready to say, because I feel like you would correct me on this and other people would correct me on this, I get that a heel can't be the top guy for your fucking company. But WWE hasn't cared about that for how long they've had Brock hold the fucking Universal title. Now, I get it. MJF is not a Brock Lesnar with the MMA background and everything else. But he's so fucking... Like, this guy could really be like a Ric Flair for your company in all the best ways. Like, I picture this guy, right, with a world title, reclined in his chair, the fireplace, some beautiful unknown woman on his arm, cutting a promo about how he's the best damn thing in the business today, and not in that Ziggler whiny way of, oh, they only give me a chance because MJF doesn't whine. He does. He takes action and he wins, and that's why we hate him. Like... God, I wanted him in this spot so fucking bad. So fucking bad. Because the thing with Paige, I like Paige. I think he's a talented guy. But I gotta be honest, I think we heard him cut a promo. Not the best promo.
Are you talking about Paige now?
Paige now, yeah. Like, he has an upside, and I think there's novelty in him not being as known as Chris is, and making him the face of your company. But, like... Why wasn't this MJF versus Omega? The promos could have been great. The match would have been great. MJF beating Kenny probably would have had people irate because Kenny, I think, even though he's kind of had a few missteps himself from what I understand.
If it would have been MJF versus Kenny, I would have picked Kenny to win for sure.
And see, I would have picked MJF. I would have picked the fucking upset. And here, I don't know where I want to go. I think I am just going to go Paige, dude. I think I am just going to go Paige because I have to remember... And I learned this from all the times I tasted foot with WWE premium predictions. The heel is never the inaugural anything. Very rare that the heel like wins a tournament or becomes an inaugural something. I'm sure it is funny though that it's Jericho because he did become the inaugural undisputed champion when they did that small tourney at Vengeance in 2001, and he was a heel. So he was the outlier then, and he could be the outlier now. But I'm going to go with Paige to win. But this absolutely 1,000% should have been Kenny Omega versus MJF, and I cannot believe AEW got that wrong. At least in my mind, wrong. So there you go.
Well, I'm picking an outlier here, John.
You're picking Jericho.
No, I'm not, but I am picking a heel to win this match.
Oh, you've been talking about this lately, so you're feeding into the double turn.
Yep, I do think it's going to happen. I think that Adam Page is going to turn heel. He is going to beat the fuck out of Jericho, and we're going to get sympathetic old man Jericho, like old man Logan type shit. And Jericho's going to pass out, and Hangman Page is going to win this thing with a ref stoppage, or maybe he'll even do the Deadeye and then go for the pin and pick Jericho up before it gets to 3 and then do another Deadeye or 2, and the ref will just call the match off and just award the title to Page. That kind of shit. That's what I'm predicting to happen here.
Yeah, dude, here's the thing. I might even have a mark out if that happens, only because I think that would be cool for them to do a double turn, but I'm not gonna... Because, like, do you feel like there's been anything in the booking or the trajectory of the story that would lend credence to this idea of, like, a double turn? Or do you just feel like the story's going to be told like in the
well,
match?
dude, I mean, listen, I don't watch Being the Elite, but people who do have been saying that Paige has been saying stuff like he's willing to do anything, whatever it takes to win that title. Like he's got a fire in his eyes that's like looking a little more devious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So again, I don't watch BTE, but I trust the people who do, and I would rather leave them than waste my time watching it myself. So I'm just going to go for it, man. I'm just going to go all in on All Out on a Hangman Page, turning heel, winning the title, and then at whatever the next big show is, hell, maybe it's even the first televised show, we get Hangman Page versus Kenny Omega for the title.
All right. I can see where you're coming from. Absolutely. I don't think I'm ready to make that leap. So I'm just going to stick with Paige being the white meat babyface for right now, becoming the inaugural AEW World Champion. But I do want to say, given my predictions, even though I did pick Lucha Brothers to win the ladder match, that something Mark Schoeneman said, he's 100% right. They can't all win if they want any credibility as an actual company and not a breakfast club. I don't care which match it is, Pac versus Omega, Cody versus Spears, Lucha Bros versus Young Bucks, or Adam Page versus Jericho. It would be nice if at least one of these guys lost. It'd be great if more than one lost, but I will take one at a minimum.
You know what, dude? Why don't we do this? I want to do a little exercise with you here.
Okay.
So we've made our predictions. Everybody knows what we think is going to happen, right?
Yes.
How would you book this show? How would you book this show from top to bottom? Let's start match 1, Private Party versus Los Gueros de Cielo. Who would you have win that match if you were in control of this company?
Oh God, I'm about to be so exposed. Honestly, I feel like Angelico and Jack Evans haven't done anything of note yet, and I feel like they could be a really entertaining heel tag team as kind of a contrast to the more serious Dark Order, so I'd probably have them win.
See, and I would still do Private Party because they're more of like a homegrown thing.
Right.
Who would you have win the Casino Battle Royale, the women? Who would you have out of that group represent that group as one half of the AEW Women's Championship inaugural match?
Who are our options again? Just a real quick rundown, because I keep thinking about Sadie Gibbs, because I know that's who I predict.
Well, she is one of them. It's Nyla Rose, Britt Baker, Allie, Brandy Rhodes, Teal Piper, Ivelisse, Jazz, Big Swole, Ariel Monroe, Sadie Gibbs, Awesome Kong, Shaza McKenzie, and then 10 other opponents that have yet to be determined, one of which is very likely going to be B. Priestley.
Honestly, I'd go Britt Baker. I think they have a lot invested in her, and I really like her, so I'd go Britt. I'd just continue along with that.
Yeah, and I honestly would probably go with Sadie Gibbs. So it's so funny who we're predicting versus who we think is going to win, or versus who we want to win. I would predict Britt Baker, but I'm not a big fan of hers. And I would rather see someone like Sadie Gibbs win because she, again, it's like a completely AEW original, someone that doesn't really have a lot of exposure outside of AEW, never been on WWE programming before, never even been on NXT like Britt has, completely, like, as far as the US audience goes, completely unique talent to AEW, and she does some impressive flippy shit. And then, you put her in the world title match right away after hyping her up, and it means like, oh, well, our video packages mean something now,
Right. I get what
like when we hype someone up ahead of time, it's a big deal. So then the Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy, Marko, Stunt, I think we just agree that the good guys would win that.
Yeah.
Darby, Allin, Joey, Jimmy. Darby would have to win that then, right?
Yeah.
Best Friends versus Dark Order. Would we agree that Dark Order would win just because of the stipulation, or would we say Best Friends win just to subvert?
I still would stick with Dark Order, personally.
Yeah. Honestly, just as a way to subvert expectations, because this seems way too obvious, I think if I was in control here, I would have the Best Friends win. And I would just be like, you know what? We don't necessarily always abide by your sort of heel face expectations,
Right, yeah.
Because having a first round bye doesn't have to be a heelish thing. Like, if it can be, and it almost always is in the wrestling context, but it doesn't have to be. So I would have the Best Friends win that. And then the Dark Order would probably still make it to the tag title finals because they've kind of proven, that they're a really, really good tag team. But I don't know. I just think that it would be more interesting if they went out of their way to just be like, look, no. Just because this heel team is here and the thing that's up for grabs is traditionally seen as heelish, that doesn't mean that the heel team has to win it. But then we get to Riho versus Hikaru Shida. I think we agree that Shida is the right choice there.
Yes.
And then Pac Omega, I think we probably, honestly, I don't think either one of us really cares who wins that. Like, let the guys do fucking rock, paper, scissors to determine who wins. I don't really care.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same.
I would say Omega is probably the better choice, but they both have like the name value because Pac, when he was in, he has had exposure on a grander stage because of his WWE work.
Yes.
But then we get to Cody versus Spears. Obviously, we'd have Spears win.
Spears, yeah.
Lucha Bros versus Young Bucks. I would still probably just have the Young Bucks win to kind of maintain this like home field advantage thing, because I think that's kind of cool. And then Paige Jericho, I think we agree. Paige, obviously.
Paige, obviously, and I would stick with Lucha Bros only because this is a big step match, which makes me feel like it's the end of the feud, and they are the AAA tag titles, so keep it on the AAA talents as well. The guys
okay.
That work like
so there aren't a ton of matches on the show where what we would do is completely different than what we want to happen, but there are a few, and the one that's the biggest one is Cody Spears. Like that's. If Cody wins that, it's so obvious that he's pulling a fucking Jarrett and making sure that he gets himself over before everyone else.
Yeah, which, oh god, because dude, here's another.
And of course, he's got the whole like, oh well, there are no heels and faces, but I'm gonna act like a heel during matches and then act like a face during my promos, kind of thing.
Yeah, I hate everything about the potential of this match because with Taz in there and Blanchard, they could potentially mix it up. We could see a Taz mission, which I don't even know if I want to see that. We could see all this like overbooked shit. Like I see this honestly just projecting because again it's preview predictions and I'm not trying to hold it against the show. I did say my head went down 7 out of 10, but that's AEW's fault because they don't have MJF on here. I could see.
Yeah, and we would add MJF to the world title match and have him win it.
Yes, undoubtedly. I see.
Actually, if you want the truth, I would add MJF to the Pac Omega match, make that more interesting, and have it be a number one contenders match where the winner faces the winner of the main event then for the title next.
Yeah, I see Cody versus Shawn Spears being the most overbooked match on this show. Like I just see it devolving into.
I mean, we already have cornermen.
Yeah, like. I just don't see it anymore. In fact, speaking of MJF, because of his relationship, quote unquote, with Cody and his hatred of Shawn Spears, maybe he would even try and get involved and be like, oh, I just wanted to help Cody because I too hate Shawn Spears. So they might shoehorn him in on this or the Adam Page matchup because he's had problems with the man that he calls Seabiscuit. I don't fucking know.
Dude, I was actually surprised that they jumped right to this match. I was really hoping that they would make like a gauntlet basically for Spears to run through to get to Cody where he has to beat Darby Allin first because Darby Allin's pissed at him that he stole his moment. Then he has to beat MJF because MJF is pissed at him for, attacking Cody. Then if he beats both those guys, then he gets to Cody. And if he beats Cody, he gets a world title shot. Like that would have been so much better to me.
Yeah, I would have really liked to see that. I think it would have allowed the feud to breathe more. But it is what it is. Again, I don't want to hold my fears about this because I think Mark Schoeneman put it beautifully. I don't want my fears of AEW being a breakfast club to affect my perception of the card in the in-ring aspect because there are many quality talents on here, and I would never want to disrespect them or do a disservice to their work. That's the thing. That's honestly what it usually comes down to with me and why I'm so fucking grumpy because, like, 90% of my cynicism, like, I love wrestling. When we look at wrestling as purely an in-ring thing, I love watching it be done. My criticism always comes from the administrative side with most companies. And yes, there are some talents I don't like, especially those that are overexposed and just overbooked. But, for the most part, I love the in-ring aspect of wrestling. Like, I love the final product most of the time, like, in that sense. It's just the administrative side I don't like, and that bears on the side that I do love. If this promotion is a breakfast club, I'm gonna be pissed, and I'm gonna really, really hate it. I'm not gonna front with that. I've had very candid conversations with Ashton about it, which is why he laughed before he handed the ball over to me when we started this thing because he knew it was coming. But yeah, that's Mark Schoeneman beautifully articulated my fear. If this is a breakfast club, that is going to be such a fucking shame to me because you've got a lot of great talents here, talents that you've even touted that we haven't even seen 100% of your roster depth. And
dude, that honestly is what I think I'm most excited about for this show. I am honestly more excited about the potential reveals of new roster members on this show than I am about a lot of the matches. And a lot of the matches look really great. Like, to me, Private Party versus Los Gueros del Cielo, the 21-woman Casino Battle Royale, the, two boys and their Dinosaur versus SoCal Uncensored, Darby Allin, Joey Janela, and Jimmy Havoc, Best Friends versus Dark Order, Riho versus Hikaru Shida, and the Lucha Bros versus Young Bucks ladder match. So that's 7 of 10 matches on this show that I'm really excited about. But I don't care about Pac Omega. I could not give fewer shits about Cody, Shawn Spears. And I think they booked themselves into a corner with Paige Jericho. I think that match is going to be underwhelming. So 3 of the 4 biggest matches on your show are matches that I don't really care about. And it's because they are all featuring the fucking brass, basically. Like Cody, Jericho, and Paige. The Young Bucks are even in a match that I am excited about because of the Lucha Bros, because I fucking love Rey Fenix. And of course, Cody. Or I said Cody already. Omega. So, like, I don't know, man. It's 7 of the matches look really exciting to me. I'm excited about 7 of them. And so I guess based on that and the fact that I'm very excited to see new roster members, normally if it wasn't for the potential new roster members, I would give it a 7 out of 10 for my hype level. But because of the new roster members, I'm giving it an 8. I'm going all the way a whole point above you, and I'm giving it an 8 out of 10 for my hype level.
Yeah, this company worries me on the administrative side. I don't know. We'll have to see. And again, I already told you, the real test is going to be when they go to TV.
Yeah.
Like, whatever their TNT product is going to be, that's going to really tell me what this company is. Is it an actual wrestling company that cares about making talents and being a true alternative? Or does it only tout being a true alternative, but underneath it's just a breakfast club that wants as many talents to work with as possible so they look good?
Yeah.
Because there is a difference, and it's a very important difference if you want my emotional investment.
I will say, though, Cody versus Shawn Spears, if it's not, like, so overbooked that it gets obnoxious and I just stop caring, that match should be a really good match. Because we've talked about this before. Cody is a really good wrestler when it comes to wrestling his style. And when you put him in the ring with someone who has a more entertaining style, like a strong style guy or a lucha guy or something along those lines, he slows them down and he makes them boring. But you put him against a guy like a Goldust or against a guy like, in this case, a Shawn Spears, someone else that wrestles that Memphis style, who's more of a traditional, like, old school Southern style wrestler, I think they're going to have a really good match. Like, I don't care as far as, like, I'm expecting Cody to win and I don't like Cody and I don't think that he should be featuring himself in this promotion as much as he is, much less winning matches the way that I'm expecting him to. But as far as the actual match quality, I'm expecting it to be a really good match because it's Cody versus another guy that wrestles that style of wrestling. And they've kind of done a good job of almost limiting him to wrestling guys that do that, other than Darby Allin so far. And I think that the match with Darby Allin worked because of the fact that it went to a time limit draw and made Darby look like a star. So I think that as far as just Cody being in good matches, I think they've done a good job so far, but Cody getting overexposed and overbooking himself and making himself look better than anyone else believes him to be is the problem.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see, man. I do have a fear that this could be a really overproduced match. Just because, again, you already have cornermen to your point earlier.
Yeah.
But we'll see. If they keep it more contained, I agree with you. This actually could be an entertaining match. Again, I don't want to actively hate on this product without giving me a reason, and I'm trying to suppress my fear and to be as fair as possible in my reception of this product. It's just, God, there's so many, like to me, signals of this being a Breakfast Club type company, and I hope that's wrong. I really, really hope that's wrong. But yeah, honestly, looking at this card, and again, I want to emphasize something too that I think I don't know if I said this to you before we went live, but if I did, or if I did say while we were live, I'm just going to reiterate: the women's division and the tag division are really making this card for me because I love Private Party, Ag Evans and Angelico. They're a great team. 21-woman Casino Battle Royale feels a bit inspired. You know, I like the women are getting the same opportunity the men got at All In.
Dude, I just realized that you and I completely agree on that because there are 3 solo matches, or 4. There are 4 singles matches on this entire card, and the only one that I care about is Riho versus Hikaru Shida, and that's a women's match. So there are 3 men's singles matches on this card, and they're the exact 3 matches that I don't care about.
Yeah.
Pac Omega, Cody Spears, Paige Jericho. That's like, you are 100% right. The tag title, the tag team matches, and women's matches are the matches that I'm excited about, and the men's singles matches are the ones that I do not care about, or that I'm just outright not looking forward to.
Yeah, that's really where I'm at. And hey, good on AEW for so far, because it could be torpedoed at any moment. Yeah, every division I feel like is a house of cards, waiting to be toppled. But so far, women's division and tag division look solid for AEW, and I hope that continues, because that's really driving my head for this pay-per-view. So taking that in mind, I'll go up midway. I'll go 7.5 out of 10. I think I was harsh docking a full point just because one guy isn't on the show, even though I think he's one of the best guys in the company. I do stand by that wholeheartedly. I'll go 7.5 out of 10. And again, really, if I'm talking about my fears and what my fears dictate, my hype would be a 3 out of 10. But I'm trying to be fair, and I do think it's a solid card. So 7.5 out of 10, I think is a good place for me.
Yeah. All right. I'm pretty excited about this tomorrow night. But before we do that tomorrow night, we've got 2 commentaries between this one and our live reactions to All Out tomorrow. So later on tonight, in less than an hour now, at 9 p.m. tonight Eastern Time, we are going to be going live with our first ever WWE catch-up commentary, where we are going to be talking about the last 2 weeks worth of WWE programming, which includes Raw, SmackDown, 205 Live, NXT UK, and NXT. So we've got all that stuff to talk about tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure to show up for that. And then tomorrow afternoon at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, one of the earliest live recordings that we've ever done, we will be going live to live react to Royal Quest, New Japan's show in the UK, that will be main evented by Suzuki versus Okada. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait. And we hope that you're all looking forward to that. So any kind of final thoughts that you want to get out before we close this thing out, John?
I just hope it's a great show, and I hope it's a show that really does prove in its booking and in its treatment of talent and that aspect of the business that it's a real alternative to WWE, because that would really hearten me to see. Like it would really pump me up. I think it'd be great for the industry, great for the fans. But if it outs itself as another Breakfast Club with a fresh coat of paint, which again I want to thank Mark Schoeneman for his comment, because it really conceptualized it perfectly for me. That's going to be probably the biggest disappointment of the weekend, because it's like, we've been waiting for a big alternative, and then I guess I'll just keep putting my chips in New Japan to be that alternative, because they are having a slow U.S. expansion. So, that is what it is, but I hope they knock it out of the park. I really do. I hope they succeed. These guys are getting jobs and making good money.
Yeah, that's the thing. We want to enjoy the show. Like, we're really hoping that this show entertains us and makes us excited for them being on TV in like a month and a half.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see what happens, but until then, we'll see you guys in a little bit for our catch-up commentary, and I'm going to hand it over to Ashton to take us home.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope that you did enjoy this preview and predictions. If you did, remember to like this video. You should also let us know what you think is going to happen on this show down in the comments section. You can post your predictions for the show down there once this video is fully processed. You can also subscribe to this channel if you're new. Click the bell icon to join the notification squad. Follow us both on Twitter and on Twitch. Like our Facebook page. Buy our merch on Teespring. Donate to our Patreon. And share this channel and this video with all your wrestling fan friends and let them in on the best kept secret in the YouTube wrestling community. That's right, we are TwitWow, and we are the workhorses of the YWC, and we will continue proving that moniker true over the course of the next few months, because tomorrow, I already told y'all, tonight we're doing our WWE catch-up commentary for the first time ever. It's number 1, first ever. Not only is it a fun little episode that we're doing, it is effectively a series premiere. So if you want to be there for TwitWow history, the first ever WWE catch-up commentary, you'll show up tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time for that. Tomorrow, we are covering 2 massive shows. New Japan's Royal Quest has basically a triple main event, because we've got Kenta challenging Ishii for the Never Openweight Championship. We have got Tanahashi challenging Zack Sabre Jr. for his Rev Pro British Heavyweight Championship. And then, of course, we have got Suzuki challenging Okada for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. I believe the IWGP tag titles will also be on the line. Guerrillas of Destiny defending against, I don't remember who, though. I think it might even be like a TBD kind of thing, like a team that hasn't been determined yet. I think, yeah, it's a winner of like some like tournament that's happening in, I want to say, Rev Pro. So I'm not sure who that's going to be, but I'm looking forward to it because God are badass and I love them too. So I'm looking forward to Royal Quest tomorrow, but then tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. we will be live reacting to All Out. That's going to be fun too. And then Sunday, hopefully, we'll be able to live react to some 5-star Grand Prix from Stardom, but they've been slacking, so I don't know. They kind of brought someone else in to do their translations, and they were awful at it, and then they rehired the guy that they had doing translations originally, but it's going to take him a week to get back to work. So I certainly hope it doesn't take a week for the shows that have happened to be fully translated and uploaded to Stardom World, but I'm open to that being a possible thing. And if that happens, then we're still, no matter what on Sunday, even if we can't do Stardom, which we want to, but even if we can't, we will be doing 5 Fave 5s on Sunday. That's going to be a lot of fun. That's one of my favorite things that we do. I know John says all the time that's his number one favorite thing that we do. And it's going to be a really interesting one. So we hope that you're all looking forward to all that content. I know that we certainly are. And we hope that you all remember, of course, to stay tuned.